Hello, everyone. 2020 has been a transition year and a difficult one because change is never easy. But as most of the tough work has already been done, 2021, while still intense, it's announcing to be an extraordinary year. We birthed the age of Aquarius community at the dawn of the Jupiter Saturn conjunction in Aquarius because the age of Aquarius values are everything that our world stands for, or I would say humans stand for: freedom, quality content, connection with like minded people. Each individual is unique, experiential learning, collaboration, getting in sync with the universe, and greater good over individual interests. We have to work collectively for the world at large. So, today and in the following days to come, let me apprise you with what the planets imply for us for 2021 and what we can do for ourselves in order to build our health, wealth, and happiness. So, when we are happy inside, the world automatically is happy, and we can actually, our auras extend to the world at large. Gemini. Well, the major trends for you with only one long term planet in a stressful alignment with you, and this has been the case for many years, the health should be good. Energy will be strong. The love life is becoming more successful in the year ahead, but this is only a prelude to the even greater success that will happen in 2022. So, your love planet Jupiter will briefly move out of Aquarius and enter Pisces from May 14th to July 29th. Then, at the end of the year, on December 30th, he will move back into Pisces for a long haul. Now, Jupiter is very happy in the sign of Pisces, and thus your social grace and magnetism will be very powerful, but this is not the problem in love. Jupiter's move into Pisces will also have an important, very positive impact on your career. It will bring success, elevation, promotion, and honors. But again, this is only the prelude to the real successes that will happen in 2022. Now, Uranus has been in your 12th house of spirituality since March 2019, signaling that this is an important area of life for years to come. It shows great experimentalism in your spiritual life and practice. You gravitate to different teachings and systems. You're like a wandering, a holy man seeking wisdom from wherever you find it. Thus, you could join many spiritual groups and try out different systems and methods. Now, will be new to Gemini because spiritualism and Gemini, they don't believe in the ritualism part of it, but definitely they like to experiment with their own spiritual self. It's important to note that this erratic planet can affect your life in a variety of ways depending on how you cope with change. We are talking about the Uranus now here. So, if you try to resist change, then you may find this planet's effect somewhat of a challenge. If you welcome liberation, then you're in for a joyride. The planet Uranus helps you break free from past chains and restrictions and form new and more joyful ways of interacting in your life. Your life may be disrupted, but you are then free from thinking inside the box and new horizons open up. The area of your birth chart influenced by this liberating force is likely to be awakened and stimulated. This is a profound period in your life. Although at times you may feel the need to retreat, on the positive side, you experience intuitive flashes, initiate or join an unusual institution, and expand your philanthropic interests. It's also possible that you probe the human psyche in an unusual fashion. Health should be good this year. As I've already mentioned, most of the year there is only one long term planet in stressful alignment with you, although it's there for a brief period from May 14th to July 29th. Now, this is not enough to cause major problems in this area. Your major areas of interest this year are personal transformation, reinvention, sex and occult studies, foreign travel, higher education, religion, philosophy, and theology, career, and spirituality. So, your paths of greatest fulfillment this year will be the body, image, and your personal appearance, foreign travel, higher education, religion, philosophy, So until May 14th and from July 29th until December, and your career takes focus from May 14th to July 29th and then from December 30th onwards. Now, in particularly in regards to health, like I said, health should be good this year. For most of the year, there is only one long term planet, which is Neptune, in a stressful alignment. Jupiter does come into the picture from May 14th to July 29th, but Jupiter is not really a health hazard. All the other long term planets are either in harmonious aspect or leaving you alone. Of course, there will be periods in the year where health and energy are less good than usual. These periods come from the transits of short term planets and are temporary and not trends for the year. When they pass, your normally good health and energy will definitely return. So, good though your health is, you can make it even better by retaining and maintaining your disciplines of diet and exercise. In regards to home and family, your fourth house of home and family hasn't been prominent for many years now. Though you are a person who tends to be devoted to family, this year you'll be less so than usual. Now, actually, you should regard this as a good thing because it tends to be the status quo. There is basic contentment with things as they are, and you have no need to make dramatic changes or to pay undue attention here. Now, Mercury is both the ruler of your horoscope and your family planet. This shows the closeness of Gemini to the family. What happens to them happens to you. So, what happens to you happens to them. So, when things are going well for them, things go well for you. When things go well for you, things go well for others too, and them too. So the year ahead is more of a career year. There is more focus on your outer worldly goals than on family and the home. Of course, there will be periods where home and family issues are important, but they will never be dominant this year. Now, marriage can happen, but with delays and complications. A move is not likely this year. There is nothing against it, but nothing that specially favors it either. So, if, for example, you feel you're unemployed, though you may have wonderful job opportunities coming around. Now, you should also understand that your siblings or your people whom you are connected with very closely, their social lives will also be stable and they will also prosper. If you're planning major repairs at the home, so September 16th to October 1st is an ideal time for you. If you're planning just a renovation or a redecoration or buying art objects for home, then July 22nd to August 16th, you might find good bargains. In regards to your finance and career, your money house is basically empty this year. Only short term, fast moving planets will move through there, and the effects are very short lived. Thus, there is not much focus on finance this year. This can be read as a good thing. You're content with things as they are and have no need to pay too much attention. It tends to be the status quo. Finance will be more or less like last year. On the other hand, if problems arise, it could be because of lack of attention. The cosmos is calling you at these times to pay more attention. The career is much more of a focus than finance. Your prestige and status mean more to you than mere money. You could take a position that is more prestigious but pays less in preference to a position that pays more but has less prestige. So, the moon in your financial planet, where even the fastest of the other planets needs a year to go through all the signs and houses of your chart, the moon does so every month. So, thus, earnings and earning opportunities can come to you in a variety of ways and through a variety of people. It all depends on where the moon is and the kinds of aspects she receives. These short term trends are best dealt with in the monthly reports. So, in general, we can say that your financial power and your enthusiasm will be stronger when the moon is waxing than when she is waning. So, when the moon is waxing, it's a good time to buy your things that you want to appreciate in value, like stocks, bonds, or physical items. Now, when the moon wanes, it is a period to use an extra cash to pay down your debt. So, if you're an investor, the waxing moon is good for accumulating shares. The waning moon is good for taking in the profits or for harvesting. So, while money per se is not a big issue, the career is really the headliner this year. Career has been important for many years now, but this year, as Jupiter makes an initial foray into your career 10th house, there will be success and elevation. You will experience pay rises and promotions. If you own your own business, your business will flourish, will be elevated in status. So buy your art objects for the home between July 22nd to August 16, and it'll be a good time for you to even indulge in renovations if you want to. So, like we say, Jupiter is the planet known for generosity, expansiveness, and joie de vivre. Ancient astrologers considered it to have a positive influence, heralding abundance and expansiveness. Therefore, you can expect these traits to influence the area of your birth chart currently under its influence. So, your career and public life are highlighted as the expansive planet Jupiter moves through your 10th house of your chart. During this time, you're likely to see greater satisfaction from your chosen career. As a result, you may seek and gain promotion, travel with your work, change jobs, or have the opportunity to further study to enhance your career. It's also possible that you take on a teaching or training role during this time. On the whole, you seek more meaning and purpose. And like it's very aptly said, we are at our best and we are happiest when we are fully engaged in the work that we are passionate about. And especially when we are on a journey towards the goal we've established for ourselves. It gives meaning to our time off and comfort to our sleep. It makes everything else in life so wonderful and so worthwhile. So, pay rises, promotions are likely. If you own your own business, your business will be elevated and you will be mixing with people of power and prestige for sure. Now, in regards to your love and social life, there are many changes happening in the love life this year. Jupiter, your love planet, will be in Aquarius, your ninth house, for most of the year until May 14th and from July 29th to December 30th. So while Jupiter is in Aquarius, it favors many of your inborn, innate tendencies. You may conduct an insatiable search for the meaning of life. You have an endless quest for knowledge through philosophy, religion, study, and travel. So, expansive knowledge is the basis of your wisdom. You may want adventures in your public domain and the freedom to explore unknown realms, whether this be the physical realms or the realms of the mind. You will not want to hide your light under a bushel, but will crave recognition for your personal achievements. It shows an allurement to foreigners, highly educated and religious people. Jupiter's natural home is the ninth house. So he's strong here. You like people you can look up to and learn from. So, with Jupiter in this position, youngsters can fall in love with powerful mentors whom they can look up to. So, romantic opportunities can happen anywhere during gatherings where known people play Cupid. Romance can also happen in foreign lands or while traveling. I've heard of marriages where the initial meeting took place in an aircraft. You have these kind of aspects this year. So, an existing relationship can be strengthened by taking trips together. The love planet in Aquarius also favors romance with unconventional types of people and with people of different ethnic backgrounds. So, religious and philosophical compatibility is always important for Gemini, but this year, even more so than usual. It won't be enough to have good sexual chemistry. There needs to be a similar orientation to life, a similar metaphysics. So, two eclipses occur in your seventh house of love this year. There is a lunar eclipse on May 26th and a solar eclipse on December 4th. Both will shake up and test existing relationships. Good relationships will easily weather the storm, but the shaky ones, the flawed ones, could disintegrate. On May 14th, your love planet moves into Pisces, your 10th house. This is a major transit, but at this time, only a foretaste of what is to come next year. This changes the attitudes in love. You're still attracted to mentor types, professors, and worship leaders, but now you're also attracted by people of power and prestige. In short, you get attracted to successful people. You would gravitate to bosses, people above you in status, and indeed these opportunities will come to you. The problem here would be getting involved in relationships of convenience rather than of real love. So be careful about this. Jupiter likes the ninth house, as we mentioned, but he likes the sign of Pisces even better. According to classical astrology, Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces. You will find that much of your socializing during this period is career related. Jupiter moves back into Aquarius, your ninth house, on July 29th and stays there until December 30th. Then he moves into Pisces for the long haul. So love will become better in 2022. So for singles, this should show a marriage or a relationship that is like a marriage with someone of high status and position, also someone very spiritual. So what do you require to do in the realms? Let's say self-improvement. Now, Uranus has been in your spiritual 12th house since 2019 and will be there for many more years to come. So it's important to note that this erratic planet can affect your life in a variety of ways, depending on how you cope with the change. So if you try to resist the change, then you may find this planet's effects somewhat of a challenge. So if you welcome liberation, then you're in for a joyride, because this planet Uranus helps you break free from past chains and restrictions and form new and more joyful ways of interacting in your life. Your life may be disrupted, but you are then free from thinking inside the box and new horizons open up. So, the area of your birth chart influenced by this liberating force is likely to be awakened and stimulated. This is a profound period in your life, although at times you may feel the need to retreat. On the positive side, you experience intuitive flashes, initiate or join an unusual institution, and expand your philanthropic interests. It's also possible that you probe the human psyche in an unusual fashion. There's a great experimentation going on, and this is good. It's the way real knowledge is obtained. Yes, you can change. You can change your teachers, teachings, and practices at the drop of a hat. You don't seem to stay on any one path for too long. On the other hand, eventually it will lead you to the essence of all the teachings. Ultimately, you will find your own way, way that works for you. And ultimately, it is unique for each individual. Now, Uranus rules science and technology. You're intellectually inclined by nature, and this intellectuality should also be applied to your spiritual life. Now, here I don't mean the intellectuality of the everyday 3D mind, but the higher mind. The everyday mind has all kinds of sophistries that will obstruct spiritual progress. But when you get into the science of spirit, we call it spiritual science. The path becomes very rational. It is something that can be comprehended by the intellect. Uranus also rules astrology, the path of esoteric sciences, the spiritual side of astrology, which is beyond mere predicting about worldly things. It is a viable spiritual path. It's a beautiful cosmology which actually tells you, or it implies, or it illuminates your path, and then you're able to better choose your free will. So, astrology answers many questions that the traditional paths don't. Why is this happening to me? Why is it happening at this time? Why do I gravitate to one path and not another? And much more. So, with Pisces on your 10th house cusp, you're always idealistic about the career. You want a career that is more idealistic, altruistic kind of things that benefit others and the world at large. So, with spiritual Neptune's position in your 12th house over many years now, this urge is even stronger. And as Jupiter joins Neptune in your 10th house from May 14th to July 29th, these urges become stronger. So, this is a year where you might take up a position in a not for profit organization or charity. Neptune, the slow moving planet's transits, unfold slowly. It is therefore more significant to look at any exact transits that are coming in your personal birth chart. Nevertheless, it is helpful to try to understand the effect of Neptune as it enters into the transits through a house in your birth chart. It's a planet, that urges us to search for meaning in our lives, to look beyond the structures and focus on purpose. For instance, are you pursuing a career because of ambition and material rewards, or is it your true purpose and is it your true purpose and is it fully satisfying? Therefore, it is not uncommon for the initial effects of Neptune to be confusion and delusion, perhaps even a sense of loss. But gradually, awareness emerges, and you will be able to see what is underlying the illusions and what you can gain by changing your course and embracing values that truly enhance your journey in life. So, Neptune helps you see the truth of any situation, and therefore you start living your own truth. So, as Neptune works its way through your 10th house of your birth chart, this can be confusing time in your professional life when your confidence is shaken. In the past, you may have held tightly to certain ambitions for your career, which now seem pointless. So it may be that you have reached a pinnacle in your professional life and social status, which does not hold the allure that you once sought. You may even feel tempted to give up everything. In some cases, you could find yourself temporarily unemployed and directionless. But do not despair. The lesson of this transit is indeed to reassess your goals in the light of your higher purpose rather than personal ambitions. So it's a good time to consider the more spiritual aspects to your career, such as your gift to humanity or how you can serve, excuse me, through your career rather than how it can serve you. You now have the opportunity to make changes to ensure that your professional life does begin to reflect a spiritual or artistic theme. So material ambitions no longer drives you, and now you can see a truly satisfying life direction. This transit can sometimes reflect retirement from work, a change of career, the joys of being a grandparent, and many other such satisfying purposes in life. Depending upon what your age is, changes are applicable for that time. So there is a need to feel the divine ascent about your career path. So 2021 holds brilliantly good for you. Don't resist the changes. Learn to go with the flow. Get your natal charts made so that you can truly understand what is it that age demands from you. And then manifest yourself in that particular way. Because you need to remember that the planets always imply, they never compel. So you need to know that the transit planets, whether they be Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune, what do they imply to you personally? Stay blessed and have a great year ahead.